Another exciting episode of the thing called Double Rock by me and a rock, yeah, wide open dog thing called pure, raw, uncut, unadulterated, pure Junkanoo news, my boy. We coming into you mean today. Yours truly top class in the place. My co-host today,
Paparazzi.
the paparazzi here by me and the judgment give you the best in Junkanoo news by me and slipping. But the nigga be exciting show, but of course today we talking about Berlin. I ain't talking about the building right now we sitting in. I talking about conduct, cement, brown cardboard, white paint, wire, aluminum rods, even thing called chicken wire.
Yeah.
You know, cause there's even flower pop.
Tie wire.
Tie wire.
Yeah.
We talking about everything you need to make your Junkanoo costume. What it's supposed to be.
Chardboard now.
Chardboard. Styrofoam now.
Corrugated board with the plastic one.
Yeah, shoes, I forget what it is. I can't reach it right now.
I call it plastic cardboard.
Yeah, you know what it is. I forget what it is right now. But today, man, we going to put a spin on this, man, because, you know, over the years, I know we're improving, or we getting backwards. What you think, boss? In terms of Junkanoo construction.
Boy, I'd say we at a crossroad.
It's a crossroad.
We at a crossroad.
That's a little tough. That's a little touchy subject.
I would say we. I don't want march no corn, but I think we digressing.
We digressing.
I think we digressing, and especially in what aspect? I sure we digressing it.
Artwork.
Yeah.
Artwork.
In terms of the lines and definite
artwork.
Oh yeah, we definitely we going back 20%.
We going backwards.
Because
constructions we might have gone ahead.
Yeah, but the artwork
we going backwards.
Because the costumes might have been flat, but the detail work that those fellas.
Wait, look here. Wait. When I talk about
Kenny Mary.
Wait, when I talk about old Junkanoo, boy, man, when I talk about dudes used to buy shoot every color they had, but when you look at a costume,
Skittles
you
is a joke.
talk about you get in the print, man, then you want to shake with 3 colors, watch that costume get about 40 colors in it, boy.
Easy.
And I ain't talking about the whole costume, I talking about one piece on your costume.
Yeah, we've easily lost the artwork, but in terms of the actual construction, I even think that has digressed.
I digress a little.
The problem, though, my good friend, is Junkanoo. We don't have. I wouldn't say we don't have enough builders. Yeah, I can say we don't have enough builders. It's just repetitive. First of all, most groups bringing the same team, which bringing the same costume or the same style costume, and in some cases they even bringing the same colors. So. It's hard for persons to get excited about Junkanoo costume and building because we don't see nothing new. I think the most exciting thing I've seen in Junkanoo costuming-wise in the last 10 years is probably Party and Paste the Indian on the bike.
Motorbike.
And that gotta be 10 years ago. Or 10, at least 10, 15 parades ago.
That changed the game a little bit. That was different.
It's different, but since then we haven't seen anything as spectacular or even close to it. That we haven't seen is repetition.
When you look at a costume and say, wait, yeah. You know what I mean? When you look at a costume and say, oh, yeah. You know, when But when Junkanoo sit down, be mesmerized with a costume.
I can't tell the last time a costume made me say, ooh,
Oh, yeah, that's it.
in a very long time.
time.
In terms of costuming, now we ain't talking decoration or
They talking about pure raw construction.
or animatronics or whatever. We're talking.
things.
No,
Talking
boy.
about
I
real
think the
costume.
last costume made me say ooh and ah was that same costume.
That same costume down. But you know, the last costume I remember had some nice artwork in it. I don't know if you remember Roots had one costume on the
Indian
when they had a
wedding,
some ceremony thing.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it wasn't big.
And had a little one down in front like this.
Yeah. And it wasn't big.
See, so
it wasn't big.
If we can remember that means
That meant it was a good costume.
Yes.
That had plenty detail in it, but
Yes.
it was a small, compact lead piece.
that is what Junkanoo needs. What
But-
here's the thing. I'm not a builder,
Everybody
right?
believe big is better though.
Here's my thing. Why do we need to build a float that is 30 feet long for Bay Street? We need to go back to, now we have wheels. Okay, thank you for the wheels.
Yes.
Making the costume more easy to handle, more easy to maneuver.
Oh,
So why should now, if I have 16 feet of road, why I need to build a costume 15 and a half feet
That's
wide?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why can't I just go 14 and go spin around like 1,000 times like a top and
spend your whole costume around and that's what
why
used to make Junkanoo so good.
why do builders feel like they have to utilize every inch of space that the road allows them? Please, and use a builder, answer that for me. Help me. Bigger is better?
It ain't big and better, boss. You just get excited.
Ah.
That's all it is. You just get excited, boss.
Because I remember when I first came into Junkanoo, most structures where we used to construct lead costumes was a certain size. So if you go that size, you know that's your limit.
Yeah.
But now we're building them in larger structures. We get
We get-
30 foot that way,
They gotta
60
be-
foot that way.
Boss, you know, let me tell you, as being in the construction field, you can imagine you go downtown with your measuring tape.
I know. My good friend from one family could tell you the widest part of the road and the shortest part.
And how high you gotta go because where the lowest wire there by Elizabeth Avenue and Shirley Street.
Exactly. Good afternoon, Mr. Trevor Griggs. I know you know exactly where's the widest and the shortest, and he can tell you. We need to get him on the show.
Yeah, because we used to send people downtown to do that.
I noticed they cut down plenty.
They've trimmed
Trimmed
a
a
lot
lot
of
of trees,
trees
yeah.
because of this.
And they removed a lot of trees.
You know what I
too.
mean?
Yeah.
Remember the bridge used to come across there by Rawson Square?
Oh, yeah.
They tell them they can't do that because the big costume can't get passed
No,
properly.
man, that bridge is way up in there, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
thought-
But
way up in there,
niggas had
boy.
costume the high, boss. What you mean?
Man,
What you mean?
you know, that's one of the things I miss as a photographer that I didn't have opportunity to use. That bridge.
That bridge, eh?
What, boy, what? I'll be hanging upside down when I take a picture, boss. What? Was someone saw some top of that?
Yeah, but do you really think, man, we get a shortage in Junkanoo builders?
Okay, let me put on my thinking cap real quick.
Nah, they and man, you get some upcoming Junkanoo builders now.
Now, hold on,
They
I-
might be seen. Okay.
Okay,
so
okay.
we gotta
No.
break it down. We gotta
Let me nip this in the bud. 'Cause
Okay.
I remember if you watch our last show or the last show,
Yeah.
you said something to me. You said you got Junkanoo builders who could build from the ground up.
Yeah.
And
And
you got
contractors.
contractors who they can put together. So
now.
So we talking about now? We talking about builders?
Not contractors.
you talking about builders who could take it from
from Crown A, from white brick, from drawing to treaty.
Okay, I'm gonna say this right now, and I don't think I would be wrong by saying this. I think there's less than 20 of those individuals you talk about from the ground up. Right now,
Less than 20.
Less than 20, and I talking about the whole Bahamas. That's a bold statement,
Yeah,
right?
I
And
just wanna say
let me
that's a
let me tell you why that's a bold
Because
statement.
they get contracted to go to the family island say.
What you mean? Same builders build everything, and then that's why when you see a costume look like this, and you see the next costume look like that, you be like, and then there's nothing to get excited about because you're looking at the same thing, the same team and the same costume, bro.
I can touch you, and I can put you on the game to something. You ever heard about ghost builders?
You ever heard of a ghost kitchen?
You,
Same concept.
you get ghost riders,
Yeah, and ghost builders.
the ghost builders. You know, I a ghost builder, you know.
We also have Ghostbusters. But here's the thing, though. Yeah, the ghost part of it. Yeah. So we may have. So we have some
you
builders
might
who
have
nobody
builders
know,
who
right?
know.
I understand that. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. We are. Wait. It's to the point now where there's no loyalty with builders because there are so few builders.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah. But those
One
make it
builder-
a whole builder.
Exactly.
Those make it a business.
Well, I wasn't even going to get to that. But before $7 dudes was making it a business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
You want me to come out my house and my family to be in the shack with you? I ain't like mine that much.
So,
I like Junkanoo, but I ain't like people that much.
So man, so do it like me who just doing that for love, man. So man, I already.
For somebody who's doing it, okay. Let me put on my thinking cap right now. Doing it for the love. Doing it for the love.
Cause all builders ain't don't get paid now.
Doing it for the love. Doing it for the love.
But the mayor's a Junkanoo finish. That's what you tell me.
Boy, brother man. Ghost builders may do it for the love. That's why they don't want to be known.
Yeah.
But everybody I can think of inside the game,
Ghost builders is work for money.
all the builders I thinking about right now in Junkanoo, I can't think of none who doing it for the love. Because Junkanoo has evolved
to a business.
To a business. Now, let's take it in the context of not a real business. Let's take it in the context of another type of business.
Okay.
Okay. Let's say, let's go back to the pies and the baker. The baker doesn't show up to create the pies. What happened?
You ain't get no pie.
So what happened to the business?
Business failed.
Okay then. So now that's pretty much what happened in the Junkanoo. We only got this amount of builders. This amount of builders per group. Then you have the ghost ones, like you say, ghost ones. The ghost ones are built behind the scene. Yes. You don't see them. You just see the product.
Yeah.
I think that's a part of the problem too. Them ghost boys.
Ghost boys is a part of the problem.
Yeah, because I mean, back like I said, when I used to come to the shack to build my costume, I physically contact all over my hand.
Yeah.
So I learned some skills so I can know how to do certain things.
So the ghost builders just building, so they ain't get nobody. You ain't get
nobody know the ghost builder. You come in the shack and costume there in the corner, then mark out. Some cases then paste. So at what point in time are you gonna learn anything but constructing or maintaining that piece you carrying? If a rod's sticking you here, you don't know what to do. If a rod's sticking you here, you don't know what to do. If the costume doing this or doing this,
you ain't know
what to do.
Because you ain't listening in the construction phase. So now that we put that together, do we need to have a builders conclave or some type of workshop or something to develop the skills to develop other young men or women to take on
that is entirely up to each individual group. The groups that move forward in that direction, obviously you're going to do well and move forward, and those who don't take that approach will get left behind.
Right.
And we can see that happening right now in Junkanoo.
Yeah.
You can see that, right? If you're not proactive in what you taking care of people in your organization, you see what happened. And fellas, we got groups, man, this is the most movement I see in Junkanoo in a very, very long time. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Movement is always a good
growth. Movement is growth.
You know what I'm saying? So in terms of the builders, Junkanoo is at a transition right now. Point blank. Ain't no way of waking around it, ain't no way of sugarcoating it, no way of whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? We are at the point now where you have the option where you just come pick up. You pick up your costume.
You get a microwave system.
Right.
Instant.
Right. And then we have the next option of trying to build your people. When I say build, I mean I'm talking about let them have an opportunity. You may have a diamond in the rough, someone who enjoy building, how else you can know what you get unless you give them an opportunity?
Just like the pies say on the show, they used to come to the shack and help wire up their costume. That's what it's all about. That's how I learn.
I think you appreciate your
You
costume
ain't-
more when you wire it up.
You appreciate when you put any work in your costume, you appreciate it more, boy. You know what it is that you gotta come there, get dirty contact, wire, paint.
You don't want to wait touch your costume.
Of
Don't touch
course
that, don't touch that,
not,
don't
but
touch
you
that.
play with that dog.
Yeah,
you play
yeah,
with that
yeah,
so you get
yeah,
more
yeah.
pride in this costume now.
Yeah.
See, for all them people who just can get their costume, but they feel entitled.
Yeah.
They feel entitled, boss.
And you know what happens when you feel entitled?
You see what they saying?
Yeah.
So and that's why the craft ain't improving because a lot of people ain't doing construction. Boss, you know how much people in Junkanoo can't make a headband? Wait, headband supposed to be 101 in Junkanoo, wait?
Headband,
waistband, dog. You know how much people can't make them things?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
basics, babe. That's like learning the ABCs of Junkanoo.
All right, since we're talking construction, let me throw a curveball at you.
Mm-hmm.
We talking about, lack of builders, whatever the case may be. So, where do you see the future of Junkanoo construction going with our limited builders and I wouldn't say limited resources, but new resources because you have new materials coming out every day.
Yeah.
So-
AI.
Not only AI, I mean, you have 3D printers now. Right? And you
Yeah.
know what's interesting with the 3D printer? When American Embassy was talking about Junkanoo and getting the youth involved, and they said
Yeah.
3D printers, I got so lost. I was like, what the hell you need a 3D printer for?
For?
Dumb me, dumb me.
You ain't know what tree.
You need a 3D printer for basic, any aspect, anything,
Any aspect of
anything,
Junkanoo.
anything.
And that's what gonna happen to Junkanoo. Next problem is they gonna ask you, boss, we ain't need no builder.
Just need the program.
I just need a program. So now Junkanoo might gotta start to get techie now.
Well, he has to.
You know how to get your new software. Now you need your new machine because you need to get one machine but your 3D costume. Now your material might change now because you might be doing no cardboard no more because you're doing 3D costume.
Yeah, it's
or
just
the
it's a
styrofoam.
totally different thing.
You know what I mean? Different material.
Styrofoam even
You know what I mean?
is like a poly something.
Polyurethane,
Right,
type,
that's
different type things.
right, and they get it in different weights too. So
So
yeah,
So
yeah.
construction, Junkanoo contractors, Junkanoo builders might be obsolete in another judgment 20, 30 years.
You think Junkanoo's going to be obsolete in the next 20 years?
Why? What we doing might be.
Question.
What
Oh,
we
how
doing-
we doing it?
How we doing it might be.
That was always my fear, I always used to say,
You can
boy,
imagine, just
no,
like you.
no
you-
instruments, everybody
just like you-
recording.
Like just like you say, boss, everybody wants. Since you can imagine, you show up here. Ice rush for Pop and the Boys.
I think
Okay.
I probably name out that bad.
Pop and the Boys, Ice rush for Pop and the Boys. You show up the Pop and the Boys shop and tell them I can be rushing Pop and the Boys. I play on the trombone. The door in the back of the computer tell you stand in the room.
Yeah, just scan your whole body.
Scan your body, get your biometrics, and the doors tell you, come a half hour. When the door come back in a half hour, you get a complete costume and base. You get a complete costume and base.
That is
He
that
and
is
his
the future. That is the
software-
future. That is the future.
He and his software, he then punching trombone player.
The color code, size,
All that
everything.
then come in. All you gotta do is get your size, your biometrics, then go onto the screen now. When you come walk out there, wash your whole costume. And I ain't talking about no brown costume. I talking about costume ready for the parade.
Complete, yeah.
A complete costume.
Yeah.
And you roll out. What Papa do? What Papa wake up? What Papa group member do? Just show up there. All he show up there. Now what it can cost me?
Well, here's the thing. Technology and price go hand in hand, and the more popular the item becomes, the cheaper it is. So, the 3D printers, like when they first come out, was expensive. But now,
Cost the later, the more you get it, the cheaper it gets.
right?
So now when we start to look at Junkanoo 20, 30 years down the road now, boss, Junkanoo gonna look totally different than what Junkanoo gonna look, because Junkanoo 20 years ago ain't look like Junkanoo today.
Yeah, just pure speed, and that's just things that we have today we didn't have back then.
You see what I'm saying?
But yeah, see, you gotta be careful when you use this word evolution, because
Boss. You gotta be careful when we use anywhere now when it comes to Junkanoo, boss, cause if Junkanoo can evolve, boss, it can evolve fast. A lot of things we doing now. I can let you know that.
Do you think?
Even the sound will be different.
Absolutely, because there are going to be no more artisans that actually physically play the instruments. When I can play the instrument for instant gratification, when I can play the instrument for, if I want to shake up all day. Producer, what I can need to put my hand and bust in my hand for?
And you can get audio right.
What I can ring bells for?
I can create this Junkanoo music in the studio. Play it on beat.
Actually, even more interesting is the fact that these instruments are becoming more and more expensive. The purpose can't afford them anyway. Cowbells going for 4, 5, bro, 6, bro. Bells.
So now I just need the software to give me that collect sound. Ching, 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 ching.
We're not denying the fact that it's nothing like live music.
Nothing like live music.
But once again, that's what's going to separate the live music from what's Junkanoo going to come in the future. Those persons who still retain the original art form are going to be paid 10 to 15 to 20 times more than the persons who guys come with AI stuff.
But see,
that's the same thing with pacing. Because when you get your course and come on the machine, and I spend 10, 15, 30 hours on just this one thing, it's the same thing with today. It's the same thing with today's things today.
Hey,
the handmade shoe always get paid more. You can pay more for it than the synthetic one in the factory.
Time in the future, the thing was, I ain't got to sit up in the shop for 40 hours when I could get me a costume in 30 minutes.
Yeah, but you could also produce a masterpiece for 30 minutes compared to something way grander.
No. We can want to pay the price for that something way grander.
Here's the thing in life. It's always the three-part chart.
No, or let me say, will it make
sense?
Will it make sense for me to pay
maybe
that now?
Maybe not for a parade, but for an art piece or
that's for anything. You can pay for art for anything, but for parade, I think it makes sense. No, my point exactly.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, in this evolution stage of Junkanoo, because see, plenty people got to start to think about these things, because a lot of people ain't thinking about these things.
No, they think
back
we
in the day,
same way all the time.
Back in the day when those used to be drum go down, they got to go to the fire, boom, 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 boom. Now you do is making drum boss don't go down.
Yeah.
You see what I said? Don't make drum don't go down. You see what I said? So all these things, those come from one cowbell.
And it's also interesting.
Those come from a regular little cowbell.
The triples.
3 triples and 4 and whole hand, bicycle and whole 9. You see what I saying? And that's why I talk about the evolution. You see what I saying? The evolution and building. Those come from 2x4, 1x4, chicken wire, brown paper by. Huh? You see what I saying? So they had no mask and tape and thing, man. Ain't no mask today. Judgment, old chicken wire that your form, your 3D, your bumps and thing.
It wasn't much 3D, just your little,
Your little form.
It's 2D.
You had your little form.
Yeah.
You see, you had your flower pop. You had the paste with your flower pop. Open the rat, do you throw a little kerosene in it. Boom, now you get elements glue. Now those guys spray adhesive, boss. They ain't even judgment using no glue. Spray the whole thing and craft the white. Huh? What you saying? Those get judgment. Those saying just the crepe paper no more. They get judgment now. What the thing called?
Tennis ball.
Tennis ball. All right, man. But then evolution, boss. Now we got to decide. Now we in Junkanoo, we got to decide what direction we want to go in. We want to go evolution Junkanoo and don't have no crepe paper. These the things we got to make. These are the decisions we got to make. You know what I mean? You want to do is still continue to build with cardboard and all these different things, all these things. You know? So all this is a decision we got to make if we want Junkanoo to stay.
You know, it's a crazy thing. It's not a decision we have to make, With evolution, you don't make decisions. It's just be someone else has come with something new. And they'd be saying, mother sick. That's easier way to get it done.
Make it because the rules require certain things. Now,
the rules always behind the 8 ball, bro. The rules always reactive.
See now,
Because
now,
we
boss,
do, you do it first,
you
and then they'll come back and say, oh, you can't do it.
You're traveling in another show right now because we got to have a show on the rules. It's the rules enhancing Junkanoo or judgment and taken away from Junkanoo.
I think you need to ask Mr. Rory Sanders that question.
No, boss, we get into that. We get into that. So we can get a jump on that. That can get jump on. But as we continue this discussion on Junkanoo builders and the evolution of Junkanoo and whatever else can come in Junkanoo, because you can trigger, we trigger some people just now when we start to talk with 20 years down the road what Junkanoo can look like, what building can look like. You know what I mean? Because plenty people think what we doing now and 20 years we still be doing the same thing. Red doors, judgment, AI doing everything. Boss, you gotta realize, but you gotta understand what video real now. Because those putting out video what looks so real now from the AI, those can come me and you and you're talking about a whole different topic, dog. And you can swear when you talk with that topic.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's the scary part now. We gotta be able to say boy, what fake from what ain't fake.
Distinguish, yeah.
You gotta distinguish the two. So now with Junkanoo judgment coming up in the judgment next 20 years, my boy, I ready to get my software now because it can change, boss. When I get judgment punching, I tell him I want £2 the bell. I want them pound the bell. I want them traditional black and white. I want them red and white. And when my panda bear come out, they come out red and white. And I want them 3 feet high by 2 feet wide.
Boss, you get them now. Ain't no future, you get them now.
Yeah,
today.
my point exactly. So I mean we can get them now, but it cost me a couple of dollars. But I talk about in the future when this ain't gonna cost me that much money now.
Then it can be something.
Because it can be normal.
It can be something newer.
It can be normal.
Technology and evolution, boss.
See, but we ain't thinking about that part of Junkanoo because we can be scared. See, even I can be scared because I like my people like rough up like this and thing, dog. I can't have nobody come pull up on the side, tennis ball trying to show me up and then they would come and he cost somebody just come with the printer. And I done spend but 40 hours to pay my costume and he get his costume in 10 minutes.
That's where we at.
You know?
That's where we at.
How much people can be on the road then?
Plenty. Because if you could get a printed costume versus spending hours, personal time.
So that means Junkanoo got to move then.
It has to evolve.
So where we can move Junkanoo? See, and basically limiting the judgment, what I would say. I don't say that because don't say by these niggas then building big float now. But basically limiting a lot of things to Junkanoo.
The creativity. I think
Basically limiting the creativity for Junkanoo, you know. Unless we go back, like we say, we go back to smaller costumes.
Who's the most creative person in Junkanoo right now? Most creative person in Junkanoo right now.
Everybody creative in their own way. Let me put it like that. So you can't say who's the most creative person because everybody creative in their own way.
I can tell you who I think is the most creative person in Junkanoo right now, or a person who take the most chances and the most risk, and who has to say, man, look here, beat me. I think it's Mamra.
Mamra's most creative.
Because everybody seem to be like, whenever they create this video, in the same mold, same cutty cooker.
Same thing.
Ain't nobody tried to
come downtown with your shower and a shower.
Or come downtown in a tank. Look how we been bringing music to Bay Street. I think you all brought music inside a separate vehicle before.
Yeah, I put.
But normally, this is the thing with Junkanoo. Everybody's do everything the same way. Nobody's ever say, okay, let's try it that way, or let's see it that way. That's why I said, to me, I think he's the most out there.
Out there.
Yeah, and I mean, he's hit or miss. You know, see, that's the thing. I think everybody's afraid to miss.
Yeah, you gotta be able to hit and miss.
Yeah, that's
like starting a business.
You gotta be able to fail.
You gotta
fail forward. If you fail today, then you come back tomorrow
and dust yourself off and do it again.
Yeah. And I remember a lot of groups had a problem with him because of his creativity and because he was outside the box.
So they're trying to stagnate.
They want him to come and fall into line like everybody else, like the cutty cooker like everybody else. And that You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Who's gonna bring something the new?
Who's gonna bring something new to Bay Street?
Right, the new innovative thing that can blow everybody's mind away and say, okay, that's the direction we're going in. Who's gonna be the next Spangler with the carved heads and the carved hands then?
I might do
That's what I'm trying to find out, because we ain't had no what
had
innovative thing in Junkanoo has come along since the carved head and the carved hands and everybody's crying about 30 years ago. No man, they come on they coincide the same time. They was on the same time zone. So I wouldn't say that. What who's gonna be the new mad genius or the new
to bring something new?
Yeah, or carry it to the next level is what they try to say. That's what, you know what I mean? Who's gonna be the next mad scientist or the mad hatter?
Might be me.
I think it could be you. I've seen some little one or two things happening. Wait, I've seen some festivals around the world, but
Just blow your mind.
and I ain't talking about in place, I'm talking about online, because you know the world is now.
Brazil, that's the next level of judgment.
Wait, you know what's the next level of costuming and parading and thing too, boy? India, boy.
Yeah.
India, boy. I see some things in India. Mouth drop up like this.
Yeah.
Well, wow, how they do that?
Yeah.
Like what? How they?
And like you say, when you go to Bay Street and you look at a costume, what you get? Here. Same setup. Basic setup.
If it ain't the same setup, it's the same costume.
Basic, almost everybody.
You know some new trend is? I mean, I have no problem with it. I love the creativity. I love to see Junkanoo. I love to see crepe paper. I love to see artists, right? But some nowadays, these cats putting more detail work in the back of the costume than in front of the costume.
Face in the back, hey.
You know what I mean? I mean,
you know why you gotta face the back when the judge comes? You get a nice back. Now, of course, you could cheat in the front.
Yeah, but then you could also show.
You could cheat in the front. You can't cheat in the back.
Okay, here's my thing. Here's my thing about that. I love. Wait. I'd like to see someone bring a costume more like Guanahani Village, the original one, where you go round and round and you can't see. There is no back of the costume.
There's no back.
You know, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about.
That's what I was thinking about.
There is no back of the costume.
That's what I was thinking about.
So every time you look at something.
Every side of the costume look like the front.
Right, or something different. Every time you look and you see something different. So when I look on the left side, I see it's centrifugal. Everything straight down the middle. One on the left, one on the right. Why? Is it balance? Is something wrong with? Is this something?
Why I can't have a costume I can walk straight around and be like,
or why can I have?
That's what I do.
Or why can't I have a character on this side is completely different from the character on that side? Why do you have to be exactly the same, looking at each other the same way, wearing the same colors? You know what I mean?
You know what remind me? You know what you remind me of just now? Perry. He used to do the costume in the valley.
You mean the policeman Perry?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
His brother used to pace one side. He used to pace one side. They never used to be the same. That's what that remind me about just now. Because if he bear the pacing one man on this side, he on a totally different headspace than he brought on the right hand side.
And we become so.
You know what I mean?
We become so
their
centric.
Costume never was the same on both sides. Never.
And we become so centric. We become so color coded. Yeah. I mean, we got that from Brazil, okay? If the backline, everybody wears the same thing. But you can imagine splitting it up like a section in that backline with a certain color and another section with a different color, and then they move together. See, these the kind of things they're talking about, man.
The optics.
Yeah. Give something, do something different, man.
So now, we put a challenge out to the Junkanoo world to do something different this year. We ain't want the typical Junkanoo costume. We want something that when we look at it, we like, mother sick.
Yeah,
that's what you want to say when you go to Bay Street.
I'm missing that mother sick moment. I haven't had that
in a long time.
My last mother sick moment was my man with the flicking sea grapes on the damn suit. That's my last. And then you know, that's my last mother sick moment. It was nice. It was different, but
you needed something to say mother sick too.
I want something. I want to see the costume that could cost me for that costume around the whole parade. Yeah. I want to see how that works.
You want a costume you can take at least 200 pictures of.
At least.
Yeah, if you gotta take 200 pictures of that, they ain't shame making sense.
No.
Because every time you walk around the costume, you see something that.
Something different, man. So I just want to put a challenge out to the builders.
You cost me got to start my costume.
We just want to put a challenge out to the builders. Let's try evolve
Let's tear the box up and build a new one.
Yeah.
Let's tear. That's what you're trying to say. Cause we ain't gonna jump out the box. Let's tear the box up and make a new one. That's what you're saying.
Let's just try to create something completely different. Yeah.
Well,
That's the challenge.
see that? Wait, that right there. Because she cost me on the go. You need cardboard. You need cardboard. You need cardboard. Papa done cost all the juices started flowing in my brain, and cost me want to do Junkanoo. Wait, when you start do Junkanoo, you won't do nothing else. I can't follow you up with this because you cost me want to stop work now, boy. Cost me want work now.
Can't stop you working, but.
What I say? Hey, let me hold off of a Junkanoo. At least tell John dog.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know what I mean?
But you won't have though. That's the crazy thing. You see, going by.
She cost me. Got to go redevelop my frame because I ain't get no back on my cost though.
That's what I thinking. That's what I think.
Well, I had a drawing of my costume in my head. Now he cost me change the whole concept of that drawing in my head. You know that, right?
Yeah.
That's just like, well, what does it? Nigga, look what you just cost, Papa. The Junkanoo world in trouble. I can go do something different this year. You can got to take 40,000 pictures of my costume when I come to baby, because I ain't playing, but you done lift all them spirits up just now.
I don't know. I just something inside me saying, even the way we do hats, even when we got them pieces come across the ears, why do builders put design hats with the backlight with covering the ears and
You're supposed to cover your ears.
and having these things come around like this? And I mean, I understand you're going for the illusion, you're going for the look. So my challenge is this: I want you to try to get the look without impeding the artists. You know?
You want them to see the artists.
Yeah.
Don't hide the artists.
Another thing, if I was a dancer in the front, and ain't no music in the front, this 2025, you got iPod, AirPods, all these things you can play on.
Is it illegal to project music?
No, it's just projecting in your ears and projecting out there for the people. You dancing.
dancing.
The people trying to figure out why this boy going crazy.
So you get the whole group with the AirPods in the front. Everybody get AirPods jamming off the music.
Everybody can play their own music and be an individual jukebox for themselves. I'm just saying.
So you jukebox and you dead off from the music.
But in the front of the group there is no
You
music.
look like the white people who ain't get on that with them.
Here's the thing. You know that 80% of the dancers in front of the group can't hear nothing.
You say one little wrong.
Boy, sometimes
That one wrong is put you on time because you started to sing from the one wrong you hear, right? You started to sing and I can keep you in tune because you figure out what's that little one wrong get you together, right? But you can imagine you get your own wrong get on your ass, boss. Everybody getting like this and you like this.
I bet you win individual costume, though.
Huh?
I bet you win best dancer, though.
Best dancer,
You start off from everybody else.
them judges and start to look at you weird, no, cause they
And I
be
know
like,
that.
"Boy, what you doing?
Have you ever seen some of those people who win free dancer and naked dancer?
Yeah.
They're the weirdest set of Junkanoo in the world, bro. You never see that? Hey, boys, you never see that, man? They be in their own triple.
element, eh?
And trust me, the more triple type of vibe you want,
Yeah,
the better chance you get to win.
is.
Ask Spicy.
But y'all to see it all. Y'all to see more than me, so I can't debate that. Y'all to see more than me, I can't debate that.
Listen to me, that's a whole topic for another show. But naked dancers and free dancers,
Yeah.
they're the most trippiest people in Junkanoo, bro.
So okay, this can be the last thing before we wrap up the show.
Okay, what you want though?
Sizing and costume and
Sizing?
We get like naked dancers, free dancers, off the shoulder dancers,
All
step
right.
down, lead costume.
So what you want to know?
With the evolution of Junkanoo,
Mm-hmm.
what size costume you think began up with? Of all them costumes. What can get take out? What can get either can get replaced or it ain't get replaced, or what can be the next best thing?
I think unless we change venue, lead costume definitely will be the one left.
Lead costume gone.
Lead costume will be the one. Too big. We
big.
ready.
So step down can be the new lead then. That's what you telling me.
And then we can make them too big, and then that can be obsolete too.
Okay.
Because as a people, we have this insatiable appetite for bigger is better. One.
Yeah.
Right? It was the original. Now we created a whole, I wouldn't say recreated. We went back to our original lead costume size. And now we have the supersized one in front of it. That's like now they talking about lead Bella and the King Bella. To me, it's the same thing.
Okay, now. Would you rather costumes on wheels or costume left hand?
Which category are we talking? We talking about step down and
I know
above?
for all costume. What carrying wheels now?
Right for wheels. Yeah, I want Junkanoo on the beach. Bring your wheels on the beach.
You know, the reason why I said that is Junkanoo was more entertaining to me when there was no wheels.
Yes.
You can imagine dudes spinning around a 360 in a lead costume, 360 and off the shoulder dancer, step down. Because there's first of all, there's much smaller. And boy, and they was heavier.
Yeah, they were heavy, yeah.
So you can imagine dudes building your costume with a 2x4 horse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
So you ask-
but the trick about all this was, right? The movement and costume helped create crowd judgment,
Participation.
crowd participation. Because when the crowd see that big costume spin and that cane on, they getting up.
All right.
The energy was contagious.
I got you. But I could pretty much remember one of them Saxon costume last year. Was able to spin 360s, which means they had swivel wheels on all the wheels. One and two, they made the costume small enough to be able to do that.
360.
So why on hell you're also trying to build a costume to take up all the road? Where you going? You could.
Wait, ain't nothing.
I so hate that.
Wait, you think we could give a bad back to swing banner?
No way. No way. No
Wait,
way.
swing banner was the thing, wait. You gave you two banner boys. Swing banner was the thing, wait.
But even swing bonnet got wheels now.
And once you get a swing banner, you want a swing banner, wait.
Yeah, boy, Denny, that's just one of them things were gone. That's just one of them things are gone, boy.
Wait, listen to me.
That gone the way of the bugle. And the bugle still like one of the sweetest instruments in Junkanoo.
Yeah, this show right here is one of the thought-provoking shows.
Yeah.
It have people thinking.
Oh, and I know a lot of people ask me, they want to know if the show is live and they want to know how it can be interactive. This is what we want you to do. The show is pre-recorded. So what we want you to do is put your comments underneath each show, and what happened after the next show, we can go back.
And we can talk about it.
Talk about it. We can follow up.
So we can follow up
we have
whatever
a weekend review
or-
about whatever you had about the previous show. It takes like a little 15
we'll
minutes.
have a preview section.
Yeah, I think
See what they say?
because a lot of people have been asking me how could they be interactive? They want to answer this or they want to ask that. So
yeah, that's a good suggestion there, Papa. Yeah, so when you watch our show, like I say, I encourage y'all
everybody
to go to all our social media platforms. Junkanoo
ask
News
any
Network.
question. We'll respond to the next show.
You go to YouTube, like I say, most of our full newscasts like this one, you'll find on YouTube or Facebook.
Instagram.
Most of our reels
Instagram.
and short videos you'll find on TikTok, Instagram, and so also on YouTube and TikTok, and
Facebook.
So, pick your poison. I know you want one of them. If you don't know what, you want one of them if you want to connect, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's go to YouTube.
Yeah, hit subscribe.
Even if you don't do Facebook, you just do YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So any questions?
So hit subscribe, and if you like a video, thumbs it up. And if you want comment. And if you need answers, we'll answer on the next show.
Yeah.
So just leave your questions, leave your comments, and we like to thank you all for the encouragement. You know what I mean? A lot of people pass me on the road. Even just yesterday, guys stopped me picking up my son from school. He said, "Boy, you all talking the truth on the show." Yeah, ask me what it was. Right? I know. But all he says, "Boy, you all talking the truth on the show."
Yeah, I think
You know what I mean?
I think is a two-part thing. It's truth, yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
it's truth.
Man,
But then we're also
man, the thing it is, most people, like our show course, be saying the things they want to say, but they scared to say it.
that too, that
You know
too,
what I mean?
that too, and it also um we talk about things that the people don't talk about. Period.
Oh, well.
So we bring up some subjects that be a little touchy sometimes, and we bring
well,
up like
man, we gotta
unadulterated.
Yeah, it's a pure, raw, uncut.
All
Listen
right.
to uncut, unadulterated show.
Yeah.
So we gotta give you what we say we can give you.
We try our best to keep it PG.
You know what I mean?
PG.
As best as we could.
Yeah.
You know what I
No
mean?
once in a while.
Until we get our OnlyFans, bitch. Off with the head. Hey, on that note, on behalf of myself, aka Top Class, my producer, Mr. Silent, my guy today.
Paparazzi.
Wait, we just watching
Only fans paparazzi.
Junkanoo does that quick because he might have OnlyFans chair and coming up. Man, that could be rockets. Huh? So, I feel a double rock hole in my soul just now, boy. We out, baby. We out. My drum bites.
Nedlip Productions.